All right, I wrote out some stuff I want to read. So I don't even know. It's 2 pages. Just take a few minutes. Let me just, I'll probably paraphrase some stuff. All right, in summary, all we can ever have in our minds is a model of reality and a model of God. I take as axiomatic the model we should create in our mind must be the most evidence-based model that we can create, and it also has to be logically consistent. It is important to separate our loyalties from our best understanding of objective truth. I recognize that there are many undefined terms and axioms that I'm using here, and I'm just not going to try to identify them because someone has to start somewhere. Basic facts about my life. I was born in 1970 in a hospital outside of Philadelphia. I have every reason to believe my mother was 100% Irish Catholic. My dad was a German Lutheran. I was baptized Catholic as an infant. My loyalties flow from this background, and my loyalties to America, my loyalties to Pennsylvania, my loyalties to Philadelphia sports teams, my loyalties to my church. I've had a lifelong struggle with trying to separate my loyalties from what's objectively true, and that struggle continues. In March of 2024, at the age of 53 years old, I decided my religious and philosophical beliefs needed a name. I'm a renovationist Christian. To renovate Christian theology in light of all available evidence is my goal. My symbol is a hammer. I'm even wearing one right now. My symbol is a hammer. I bought them off of Amazon and I paint them. Anyway, my symbol is a hammer, a necessary tool that one uses when we renovate a building. Some advice. It is good to hold on to a way of life when you are trying to renovate your beliefs. The process of doing so is, in my opinion, hard. The idea of renovating beliefs is very hard. And it invites confusion and uncertainty. The process can take years, even decades. It certainly has for me. So in my opinion, it's totally okay to say ritualistic words that you don't necessarily believe in, to practice certain spiritual practices like prayer and meditation, even though you don't think it does any good. It's okay to do those things if for no other reason because they're habitual ways of life. If for no other reason because you want to be loyal. Do those things. Do you follow me? Until you are ready to do something else. So I'm kind of ready to do something else. So I'm working on this new belief system that I've been looking at in my mind for years, actually. Anyway, let me keep going here. I have come to believe the following, and I invite you to start believing in the same thing that I believe in. First off, to renovate, we have to tear down some things. Okay, and then we got to build. So to tear down some things, I would say this. God has never spoken to anyone ever. There's never been a Messiah or a prophet. There never has been. There never will be. That's my most clear evidence-based understanding of reality. I could go into details about that. Two, I would say Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Moses, Joseph Smith, Mary Baker Eddy, just to name some, Americans, Ignatius of Loyola, whatever. All are religious leaders who have claimed to have received revelations from God, messages from God, and you know what? I think that they probably all believed that they did. I'm not doubting that they believed they received messages from God, but they were wrong. It was simply not true. But they did create groups that we owe some level of loyalty to. So let's just keep that separate from the fact, they probably believe that, even though it's not true. But we have to be careful about how we approach others with that understanding. Okay, and so anyway, books such as the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, I guess the Tao Te Ching, whatever, are all worth reading, along with modern academic commentary to help you discern the truth from the false and the interesting from the uninteresting. So that's my active deconstruction of tearing down beliefs, our belief systems. Now I want to try to build up one, and I just have 3 things to build up one. And then, okay, so 1, we cannot know if God exists, but I think the following is logically consistent, and in my opinion, is the best way to understand God if he exists. And so we can't know if God's there, but I think it's best for us to believe that there's an all-loving God there. And I think this is what you should think about that all-loving God. Okay, 1. It is good to act as if an all-loving God does exist. To try to take into account the perspectives of all other people, past, present, and future, is the same as believing in an all-loving God. To believe in an all-loving God is to take into account the perspectives of everyone else. And I suppose even maybe dolphins, and I suppose even if there were space aliens, them too. I mean, everything that's in this world that is worthy of your perspective. I guess bacteria, not necessarily, but dolphins and elephants maybe, because they're kind of close to being conscious, right? And maybe in some cases they are. Well, anyway, so to believe in an all-loving God is to struggle to take into account in your ethical decision-making the perspectives of all other beings that are worthy of that, in past, present, and future. Okay, because, you don't want to litter because you might hurt the future, and you have to respect the past. Okay, well, anyway, 2. God created the universe at the Big Bang using some set of initial conditions and some set of rules, allowing the universe to flower to this moment. This truth comes to us from the study of mathematics, physics, biology, anthropology, and other fields. 3. This is like a new thing for me to say this. I like this. Just love this idea. Time is God's power driving the universe into existence. God does not know what is going to happen, nor does God know all of the possibilities. Only some of the possibilities. Doesn't know all of them. There might be possibilities as this world continues that God can be surprised by. They say, well, how can God be surprised by anything? Well, he's all powerful. Why can't he make a universe that he might not be surprised by? And maybe, again, he's seeing what happens when this universe plays itself out. Because it's so complex that he doesn't even know what the possible outcomes of this universe is. Oh, how can that be? But he's all powerful. He can do that. And that's the best way to understand God. And it also accords with everything that I'm seeing in reality. It accords with what we're seeing, in fractals, and there are other things to say there. So that's it. I got a lot more to come. I'm going to keep on going with this new understanding, and eventually I got to start getting more concrete. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about things in the real world, like money. What to do with geopolitics, and and how to understand our lives in light of this new understanding of reality that I've been trying to piece together from my study of mathematics and my study of philosophy and what have you. Okay. That's where I am. I love you all. Thank you.